Watchmojo, the fictional match for the rise was collected.
It's a perfect blending of the fantastical and realistic, as Ash's actions aren't far off from what sometimes happens in the real world.
I can take my responsibilities as seriously as you do. You do your job. Let me do mine.
Number 7. President Snow and President Coin, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. For a series that's based entirely around misdirection and manipulation, it's only fitting that The Hunger Games ended with one final twist involving both of the film's villains.
They, the greatest threat to revolution, fired a shot to end all wars.
Katniss Everdeen was led to believe that the person she was rebelling against was the tyrannical President Snow, in order to replace him with the leader of the rebellion, President Alma Coin.
I'm sure she wasn't gunning for your sister. These things happen in war.
But after Katniss learns that Coin gave the order that killed her sister Prim, she decides to make one last decision at what is supposed to be Snow's execution. She aims her bow and arrow at Coin and fires. Snow dies too, but not before having one final laugh at the expense of Miss Everdeen. Number 6. Past Magneto, Boulevard Trask, and Sentinels, X-Men Days of Future Past.
You'll need a new weapon for this war. I call them Sentinels.
Understandably, a movie that takes place in 2 different time periods is going to have a lot of threats to combat.
What makes the Sentinels so special is the ability to target the mutant X gene, the genetic guidance system that can lock on to a mark a half a mile away.
In the future, humans and mutants have been hunted to near extinction by machines called Sentinels, leading what remains of Charles Xavier's X-Men to fight them off. Additionally, Wolverine gets sent back to 1973 to prevent the Sentinels' rise to power. This involves stopping Mystique from assassinating their creator, scientist Boulevard Trask.
What the hell are you doing? I didn't tell you to activate.
Unfortunately, this also means having to break perennial X-Men nemesis Magneto out of prison, who eventually goes back to his own human-hating ways and ends up dropping a baseball stadium on the White House and almost killing the president. Geez, why can't we all just get along?
Why would you try and save him? Because he was one of us.
Number 5. Reza, Bejo, and Van Goon, The Raid 2.
Gue butuh bukti kalau Reza punya koneksi sama Bang.
This movie has a surprisingly complex story, considering it's 2.5 hours of pure, raw action. And it all centers around the world of Indonesian crime families. In it, undercover cop Rama wants to kill gang lord Bejo by murdering his brother. But first, has to get through other crime lords like Bangun and corrupt police commissioner Reza.
Semuanya beres? Urusin dia.
While the 3 do their best to make sure that Rama does not win, they are no match for the former SWAT team member. Thankfully, this conflict is based around some of the most amazing martial arts work ever seen in any film. Number 4. The rival gangs, the Warriors.
We see the ocean, we figure we're home. We're safe.
This time you got it wrong.
After being framed for killing the leader of the Gramercy Rifts gang, the Coney Island-based Warriors have to face a number of other gangs if they want to survive.
Pretty soon every gang's just gonna boogie right in. Soldier right through.
These include the Lizzies, the only all-female gang in the film, the Turnbull ACs, who are all bald and ride in a graffiti-covered school bus, and the Baseball Furies, who dress like New York Yankees and wield baseball bats. But the film is a build-up to the Warriors' confrontation with the Hell's Kitchen-based Rogues, who utter the legendary threat.
Warriors, come out to play.
Number 3, Sauron, Gollum, and Saruman, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
The ring is mine.
Frodo's journey finally ends in epic fashion, with appropriate levels of villainy to match its brave heroes. Gandalf and company finally triumph over the evil wizard Saruman, while Frodo and Sam deal with the dual threat of Gollum and Sauron, who both want to reclaim the One Ring for themselves. While Sauron unleashes his armies upon Gandalf and Aragorn, Gollum reverts to his old ways and tries to retake the ring from Frodo, but is killed when Frodo throws him into the fires of Mount Doom while holding the ring. When Ra's al Ghul and Batman begins.
Anger doesn't change the fact that your father failed to act.
But The Dark Knight handles its villains the best, by including Batman's greatest foe, while leaving room for other developed baddies.
If it's so simple, why have you done
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
When Italian mobster Sal Maroni and his fellow gangsters recruit the psychopathic, chaotic Joker to carry out their dirty work, things turn really dirty.
I just did. I took your little plan and I turned it on. So,
This culminates in the Joker turning the once noble Harvey Dent to the side of evil, resulting in Batman having to take out his one-time ally.
Thank you.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
人のこと嫌いになるっていうのは、親の覚悟しろってことだからな。But your father did. My family fought for you. To you.
A bird? You want a bird?
My book, Newsdar, Moonish. Rockboy Binat. Anwar Nash. Thief in the shadows.
When are you gonna get it through your thick skull, Lorraine? You're my girl. Just get in the car, butthead. What do you call it, butthead? Butthead? Did you get kicked out of another... boarding school? Damn it, Lorraine, do you... how much perfectly good dough I've blown on this no-good kid of yours? What's he gonna leave it? Are you in or out?
Number 1, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and Jabba the Hutt. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
As if having one of the most well-known villains of all time wasn't enough, this Star Wars film features 2 more iconic personifications of evil. The movie begins with Luke and friends rescuing Han Solo from the disgusting slug of a crime boss, Jabba the Hutt. Following their victory, the rebels make their last stand against the Empire, which involves Luke confronting his father Darth Vader and his master Emperor Palpatine one final time.
You underestimate the power of the dark side. If you will not fight, then you will meet your destiny.
But when Luke refuses to kill Vader and succumb to the dark side, Palpatine unleashes his wrath on him, culminating in Vader renouncing his evil ways and destroying his master. And there's also Boba Fett. For like 10 minutes. Do you agree with our list? What movies do you think best handled multiple bad guys? For more insidious top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
You are as good. We are good.
The best.
Be the you who doesn't cover the moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Be the you who shows up in that dress, who hugs a friend, who is done with treatments that don't give you clear skin. Be the you who controls your psoriasis with Stelara. Just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Stelara may lower your ability to fight infections and may increase your risk of infections and cancer. Some serious infections require hospitalization. Before treatment, get tested for tuberculosis. Before starting Stelara, tell your doctor if you think you have an infection or have symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Always tell your doctor if you have any signs of infection, have had cancer, if you develop any of your skin growths, or if anyone in your house needs or has recently received a vaccine. Alert your doctor of new or worsening positives, including headaches, seizures, confusion, and vision problems. These may be signs of a rare, potentially fatal brain condition. Some serious allergic reactions can occur. Do not take Stelara if you are allergic to Stelara or any of its ingredients.
Most people using Stelara has 75% clear skin, and the majority will do it with clear anemia for weeks. Be the you who talks to your rheumatologist about Stelara.
This corpse is worth $70,000. Now quit your pussy for moonshine.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie heroes who made things worse.
The sign says you are now leaving Forest Green. Don't forget to buckle up. You are damn lucky, kid. All the grief you've given me should be leaving wearing your balls as earrings.
For this list, we'll be looking at movie heroes and heroines whose attempts to do good or otherwise improve a situation only manage to do the opposite.
You're my hero. You inspired me. No kick-ass, no red mist. Seriously. Wow.
Their actions could have been intentional or unintentional. Naturally, because these protagonists' actions affect the plots of their respective films, there will be spoilers ahead.
You silver-tongued devil, yes.
Number 10, Dr. King Schultz, Django Unchained.
You work with me through the winter to the snow nights. I give you a third of my badges.
Dr. Schultz spends most of the movie acting as the wiser and worldlier mentor to freed slave Django. The dentist-turned-bounty hunter teaches Django how to shoot, read, and write, and helps him to reunite with his wife.
Candidate? Oh, so you've heard of it. Ain't no slave without a candidate. Well, apparently that's where your wife is.
However, it's with this last endeavor that Schultz manages to make things go south, unintended.
If I don't shake your hand, you gonna throw away $12,000? I don't think so.
After Django's wife, Brunhilde, has been freed when they purchase her from her slave owner, Calvin Candy, the trio looks ready to make their getaway.
It's a custom here in the South. Once a business deal is concluded, the two parties shake hands. Implies good faith.
I'm not from the South.
However, Candy insists on shaking Schultz's hand. But because he's got a spring-loaded pistol hiding up his sleeve, Schultz just can't resist shooting him.
To shake her hand.
I insist.
If you insist.
This action leads to Schultz's death, as well as Candy's and several others. Not to mention the capture and torture of Django and Brunhilde.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Number 9, David Drayton, The Mist.
What is it, Daddy?
Yes?
When you're the lead in an adaptation of Stephen King's work, chances are things aren't going to turn out well for you in the end. David acquits himself well enough throughout most of the film, navigating the paranoia induced by the titular mist and the monsters that lurk within it, and eventually leading his son and several others out of the store they've been trapped in.
Oh my God!
However, upon returning home, David finds that his wife has been killed by the creatures. By all appearances, the mist monsters have taken over everything. So, rather than have his son and the others torn apart by the vicious things, David saves them from that particular fate, only to discover a few minutes later that the human army has turned the tide against the creatures. Number 8, Evan Treborn, The Butterfly Effect. Time travel usually gets worse before it gets better. In Evan's case, it doesn't get better for a long time. After discovering his old journal, Evan finds himself able to travel back in time and change events from his past.
It's okay. It's just a dream.
Did it feel like a dream?
However, his attempts to improve his life and the lives of his loved ones are rarely successful, and always have unintended consequences that ripple out of his smallest action in the past. These range from the deaths and disfigurement of his friends to him ending up in prison. So we'd say making it worse is an understatement.
Believe in that whole bit the Lord works in mysterious ways?
Straight up, man.
So I think Jesus sent me to your cell for a reason.
Number 7, Evelyn Evie Carnahan, The Mummy.
Oh, I've heard about this since I was a little girl.
Oh, Evie, you fell for one of the classic blunders. Never disturb an Egyptian tomb. This adventurous librarian, along with a whole mess of others, is excavating the city of Hamunaptra when they uncover the mysterious Book of the Dead.
Amunde speaks of the night and of the day. Sueya Harum Tup
That night, in yet another classic blunder, Evelyn reads a passage aloud. Come on, this is basic stuff here. In the process, she revives the murderous high priest Imhotep, who proceeds to go on a killing spree and perform a resurrection ritual. Just goes to show that sometimes you should judge a book by its cover.
No! You must not read from the book!
Number 6. Detective David Mills, 7. When you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back.
Very true. Very, very true.
David is a hot-headed detective who just moved to the unnamed city that 7 is set in with his wife Tracy, who was reluctant to relocate. However, unbeknownst to him, she is pregnant.
David and I can help occasion.
Along with veteran detective William Somerset, David investigates a killer whose murders are based on the 7 deadly sins. The killer, John Doe, targets David, not only because of the cop's involvement in the investigation, but also because the murderer is envious of his happy life with Tracy.
You hear me, Detective. I'm trying to tell you how much I admire you and your pretty wife.
To see his plan come to fruition, Doe goads Detective Mills into killing him by murdering Tracy, fulfilling the final sin of wrath, and ultimately ruining David's life in the process.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
That's what he wants. He wants you to shoot him.
No!
Number 5. Dave Lazuski, Kick-Ass.
Why are you just as kick-ass?
Because I am kick-ass.
His intention was to become a superhero, so you can't say that Dave didn't mean well. Unfortunately, he kinda sucks at it, at least at first.
Okay, maybe I was still in the beta testing phase, but it was a start.
Unlike Big Daddy and Hit Girl, who were 2 actually competent superheroes trying to take down the mob, Dave gets all of the fame of a real-life superhero thanks to a viral video, despite having none of the ability. However, Kick-Ass's insecurities about his abilities lead him to trust Red Mist, the son of the mob boss being targeted by the other heroes.
Wanna check this uniform? I love this.
Red Mist is merely posing as a hero to draw out those responsible.
As a great man once said, where did they get a load of me?
This ill-placed faith leads the mobsters to get a hold of Big Daddy and Kick-Ass, so they're able to burn the former to death and severely beat the latter.
With no power comes no responsibility. Except that wasn't true.
Number 4. Rachel Keller, The Ring.
Noah, did you say that I'm gullible?
A journalist whose niece dies after supposedly watching a cursed videotape, Rachel, like so many other horror movie characters, just can't leave well enough alone. Instead of leaving the tape where it was or destroying it immediately, she watches it and ensures her death will occur in 7 days. However, there is an exception to this rule, since Rachel is able to avoid death because she makes a copy of the tape at the request of her ex, who on the other hand is not so lucky. In this case, the hero can be excused somewhat, as the bizarre rules surrounding the arcane video ensure that its victims have to pass it on. Even so, we're still not sure why she didn't just destroy the copy she made.
Why not me? What did I do that they didn't?
Number 3. Marty McFly, Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, this is heavy.
While it was tempting to include Marty's screw-ups from the first and third films, his actions in the second film affect more people.
What's this?
It's a souvenir.
50 years of sports statistics. Hardly recreational reading material, Marty.
In Back to the Future Part 2, Marty buys a sports almanac in the future, with the intention of using it to get rich by betting on the results of games that are as yet unplayed in his present of 1985. Luckily, Doc manages to talk some sense into him.
I didn't invent the time machine for financial gain. The intent here is to gain a clear perception of humanity. Where we've been, where we're going, the pitfalls and the possibilities, the perils and the promise.
Unluckily, the McFly family nemesis Biff Tannen was eavesdropping on the situation. Since Marty didn't dispose of the almanac properly, Biff manages to deliver it to his past self, who becomes wealthy and ends up turning Hill Valley into a lawless wasteland in an alternate 1985.
It's a little matter we need to talk about.
You have money, right? Well, forget it.
No, not money. Ray's Sports Almanac.
Of course, had Doc never invented the infernal time machine in the first place, none of that would have ever happened.
This can't be. I'm afraid it is happening, Marty, all of it.
Number 2, Ash Williams' Army of Darkness.
I ain't that good.
When it comes to reluctant heroes, we gotta say, hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby.
Ash Williams, fresh off his encounters with the Evil Dead and thrown back in time, just wants to get back home. However, it's this impatience and his memory that cost him and plenty of others.
When thou retrievest the book from its cradle, you must recite the words Clatu Berata Nictu.
Clatu Berata Nictu. Okay.
When the critical moment comes for him to remove the evil book, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, from its resting place, Ash forgets the last part of the incantation.
Nectar. Nickel.
Because of this, the titular Army of Darkness awakens and begins to march on humanity.
Back to the land of the living.
The fact that the army is led by an evil doppelganger of his is also largely Ash's fault.
I got a bone to pick with you. Come on.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I saw it. It's just like with Mr. Weasley. It's the same door I've been dreaming about for months, and I couldn't remember where I'd seen it before. Sirius says Voldemort was after something he didn't have the last time, and it's in the Department of Mystery.
Half my heart to make you whole, its strength to purify your weakness. Live and remember your oath.
But here's the thing. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
You can't mess with the program, Ralph.
You're not going turbo, are you?
Number 1, Joy, Inside Out.
We have to do this for Riley.
The personified emotion of happiness inside a young girl named Riley, Joy takes the lead both inside Riley's head and in the film. This is partly due to the pride she has that Riley's defining memories are all happy.
Anyway, these are Riley's memories, and they're mostly happy, you'll notice, not to brag.
It's this conceit that leads her to overreact to the actions of sadness, as Joy is worried about Riley, as well as her own importance inside of her.
If you want to walk the long way, go for it, but Riley needs to be happy. I'm not missing that train.
If Joy had been more willing to accept sadness as an essential part of Riley's well-being earlier on, which she eventually does, she could have avoided much of the film's conflict and her many struggles. Then again, it would have been far less emotionally fulfilling if she had.
I just want Riley to be happy.
Do you agree with our list? Which movie hero do you think made things worse?
Their instruments won't work up here. Missile tracking won't work. They'll have to fire line of sight. They bring the fight to us, and we have the home field advantage.
For more well-intentioned top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
Nice shot, Doc! You're not gonna believe this! We gotta go back to 1955!
I don't believe it!
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go.
These celebs fell from grace and failed to make a successful return. Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity comeback fails. For this list, we're showcasing individuals who experienced fame and success, only to disappear and later re-emerge with questionable comeback endeavors.
She's dynamite, nobody thinking she's rich, so what's her name, what's her name?
I'm Sharon Stone, bitch. Number 10, Lil Kim.
You wanna be my main street, baby? Don't you wanna get between my knees, baby?
Known for her standout style and connection to the late Notorious B.I.G., this Brooklyn MC learned a valuable lesson about the evolving music industry in 2011. Continuing her public feud with Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim failed her fans by asking them to spend $10 on her new album, a mixtape without any samplers. Essentially, Kim seemed to believe that fame alone would drive the marketing campaign.
I get top dollar for whatever my name on. Or stick your head in a tornado, brainstorm. I drop bombs, flex, napalm.
Sadly, the title track of Black Friday failed to connect with pretty much everybody. Kim's stint on Dancing with the Stars didn't exactly rejuvenate her career either.
Lil Kim, nasty but tasty. You can work wonders with that touche.
Number 9, Dustin Diamond.
All right, people, today we're going to play a piece by Johann Sebastian Bach.
A piece? Why can't we play the whole thing?
Although Screech Powers was a fan favorite on the 90s sitcom Saved by the Bell, a lasting career in the TV industry wasn't necessarily a sure thing for actor Dustin Diamond.
When I had my pocket knife like this, and the blade was right here, and a guy came from around me and grabbed my throat, and so he nicked his arm on the tip of it.
And while his 2014 barroom fail would eventually land him some jail time, it was a shocking 2006 sex tape that became his most notable career move fail.
Where's a Screech sex tape? You got to be worth at least $1 million. And I thought, yeah, maybe.
Entitled Screeched, Saved by the Smell, the video purportedly featured Diamond in the act, but he would later claim that a body double was used. Even so, just the concept itself represents a serious error in thinking.
Somebody get his ass out of here. You are full of Dustin. I know you're a child. I will beat you. He must be out of your part-time cartoon mind.
Number 8, Limp Bizkit. In the late 90s, this Florida band earned a notable following with their nu metal aesthetic. Although Limp Bizkit certainly didn't appeal to all, they did earn 3 Grammy nominations and sold approximately 40 million records. However, the crew was nowhere to be found once the digital age commenced. So with the release of 2011's Gold Cobra, a world of younger millennials didn't seem impressed, and neither were previous fans of the band. Considering the lackluster record sales compared to their earlier work, this comeback fail was somewhat of a public disaster, even if it was predictable.
If that's your business, you tell me she ready to go. She ready to go. She ready to go. If that's your business, you tell me she ready to go. She ready to go.
Number 7, Bill Cosby.
A veritable feast for the tummy.
While this man is undeniably one of the most well-known comics in the world, he's encountered a few problems in recent years.
Cosby is charged with aggravated indecent assault.
Okay, lots of problems. And though the controversy surrounding Bill Cosby is no laughing matter, he only made his predicament worse in 2014 by asking the internet to meme him. Unsurprisingly, the Twitterverse did exactly that. Some took a more creative approach, yet others were strictly to the point, combining the essentials of Cosby's influence in pop culture with the rape allegations. His reputation was already taking a hit, and this social media fail exposed a shocking lack of self-awareness.
Do you think when they grow up, I'll be beautiful again?
You are beautiful now. I just hope they get out of the house before we die.
Number 6, Ciara. Here's an R&B songstress known for her success in the mid-2000s, but over the years, Ciara's record sales have continuously declined. But that's not to say that she hasn't still been a part of pop culture discussion, considering her past relationship with hip-hop star Future and current engagement to NFL superstar Russell Wilson.
And I have to compliment you guys on your matching outfit. I mean, this
This is real coordination here, my friend. You were in charge of this, right, Russell?
So when Ciara released her 6th studio album entitled Jackie in May of 2015, it seemed like a serious comeback might be in order. Yet in a major Twitter fail, she introduced a hashtag called Ask Ciara, which opened up her personal life for public discourse. Needless to say, it didn't go well, and her album sales subsequently bombed. Number 5. Sharon Stone.
She's a Hollywood icon with a Nobel Prize. She got a genius brain and a banging thigh.
In 1980, this iconic actress made her screen debut as Pretty Girl on Train in Woody Allen's Stardust Memories. 12 years later, her filmography had grown exponentially, with her best-known role as Catherine Trammell in Basic Instinct.
You're gonna make a terrific character, Nick.
While Sharon Stone has provided a fair share of subpar performances over the years, she was talented enough to be honored by the French Ordre des Arts et des Lettres in 2005. Even so, she followed up the experience with Basic Instinct 2, a film that was apparently supposed to revive her career.
Who do you think I'm gonna kill next?
Well, it didn't, and the film became somewhat of a joke among critics and movie fans alike.
You know what I like about you? You enjoy being in control. Like me.
Number 4. Charlie Sheen.
Stuff just comes out and it's entertaining and it's fun and it sounds different than all the other garbage people are spewing, you know?
In 2011, this man went through a bit of a meltdown, and it all transpired at a time when he happened to be the highest paid actor on television.
What's funny? Rose is at a dinner party with her husband and she's sexting me from under the table. Sexting? It's like regular texting, but, you know, dirty.
In retrospect, the entire Charlie Sheen fiasco seemed to be an obvious cover-up of a darker truth, and he even agreed to a Comedy Central roast just months after his citing his Adonis DNA on Good Morning America.
After a battery of tests, spinal taps, all that crap, they walked in the room and said, "Oh, what's going on?" It's a hard 3 letters to absorb.
While Charlie sang a different tune in 2015, his HIV reveal undoubtedly lifted a burden off his shoulders, but his unpredictability and reputation as an unreliable performer meant he still wasn't a hot commodity in show business anymore.
You know, it's amazing. Despite all those years of abusing your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, the only thing you've had removed is your kids.
Number 3. 50 Cent. After releasing 3 wildly successful albums during the 2000s, this New York MC inadvertently predicted his future with 2009's Before I Self-Destruct. And though the album wasn't a complete failure, his 2014 follow-up was far from a comeback album.
Don't worry about how I get my money, bitch, just know I get my money. Don't worry about how I spend my money, boy, I got a lot.
In the first single, Animal Ambition, 50 Cent told fans not to worry about his financial matters. Yet 1 year later, after the album was a certified flop, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Given his willingness to engage with internet trolls, well, 50 Cent didn't improve his comeback fail whatsoever.
He high as I'm right here in the airport.
As it turns out, Farrell is not only autistic, he's also hearing impaired, and he suffers from social anxiety.
Oh my God, why would you do that? 50 Cent has since deleted the video and says he's personally apologized.
Number 2. Tara Reid. Kevin, don't stop. With the release of the 1999 comedy American Pie, the main cast experienced instant fame, but they all followed vastly different career trajectories.
What about you, Vicky? I mean, have you just never had one with Kevin, or have you never had one, period? I've had one.
As the innocent Vicky Latham, Tara Reid showcased both her natural beauty and acting chops. However, A-list roles remained elusive. Like so many young starlets, the actress turned to plastic surgery. But a major wardrobe malfunction brought the wrong kind of attention to Tara Reid. Considering her well-documented cosmetic surgery fails beyond that, well, the public scrutiny would be difficult for any Hollywood performer to recover from. And so, it was Sharknado that offered a new beginning. Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
You don't need to be mean to me.
Oh, I'm not mean. I'm dead serious about what I'm doing.
I am dead serious.
It's not about you right now. This is my life. This is my daughter. Because it's a responsibility that I'm giving to you, and you better take it serious.
I'm tired of lying to myself, thinking I can do it on my own. So when I get left alone, it's the devil peeks in and creeps in, knocks on all I need and sneaks in.
#1, Lindsay Lohan.
He was so cute. I mean, A sub n equals n plus 1 over 4.
Before this controversial actress succumbed to the pressures of Hollywood fame, she was already widely respected for her acting abilities and even became a legit sex symbol in the process. But Lindsay Lohan started experiencing alcohol and drug-related troubles in 2006, with various legal and professional issues bringing her career to a major halt.
Are you an addict?
Yeah.
And what is it you are addicted to? What is your drug of choice or drugs of choice?
Alcohol. So there's not one specific moment that represents a single comeback fail for Lilo, but rather a full decade of questionable decisions, with her starring role in the biographical film Liz and Dick being a new low.
No electricity and it's as moldy as a rugby player's sock.
Yes, but it's ours, which makes it
Perfect.
Over time, movies like The Canyons may certainly become a cult classic, but when it was released in 2013, it represented yet another comeback fail.
Not for me, baby. Not for me.
Do you agree with our list?
Make this work?
Yeah, let me get right. What do you think provided the biggest celebrity comeback fail?
You're dealing with a Vatican assassin. Sorry. What does that mean, you're wondering? What actress is that joke?
For more eyebrow-raising top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
Let's go.
Please.
No need to throw salt in these wounds. The public beatdowns hurt plenty. Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity burns.
He's the moral authority. Left the first wife, had an affair. Left the second wife, had an affair. Had kids both time, but he's the moral compass for 20-year-olds in America. That'll sit and spin, my friend.
For this list, we've sought out the harshest insults, tweets, callouts, and criticism unleashed from one celebrity to another, and made in public for all to enjoy.
I have to say, she of course respects Gaga as a talent, but she has a lot more to say about all this than she has ever said before.
We're looking at real, honest digs, so as much as we love stand-up and roasts, jokes and comedy routines or televised roasts don't count.
I love Larry. He recently quit his show. He plans on spending his retirement opening a jar.
Number 10, Elton John to Madonna, Best Live Act.
Since when has lip-syncing been lying?
Ever hear of the Q Awards? Well, in 2004, the ceremony served as the first battleground in a decade-long insult war between British megastar